What the pyramid looks at is the order in which you should tackle getting a handle on your money. Start with cash flow. Then you move on to debt, then savings, then tax vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So cash flow is first. You need to be earning more than you're spending, because only when you're doing that can you do all the other stuff. Once you move up to debt, it's really important to get rid of absolutely every single dollar of high interest consumer credit card debt. It is the number one way to get a guaranteed return, because you're currently paying somewhere between 14 and 30% interest.
People say, this is the money I make. What can I do?
Well, then if that really is the money you make, you can't do overtime, you can't have a side job, then really the lever you need to pull is on expenses. So how can you live in a cheaper place, get to work in a cheaper way, spend less on food, clothing, whatever the big things are that take up money in your budget? The reality is most of it is within our control on the spending front. And there are things that make that really tough. If you've got kids and daycare and all that kind of stuff, it's difficult. But there are still ways that you can become the master of your bank account. It is not easy, and I don't mean to allude to it being easy in any way, but that's really what you have to focus on. What can I control? And it's easier to control what you spend than what you earn.
In terms of a saving strategy for people, how much should they be saving and how should they do it?
The general rule is 10%. A lot of times people try and exert their willpower over everything. Don't. If you're a coffee lover and you love your latte, whatever it is, it's $5 a day, that may be great for you. And what you need to focus on instead is not going to the mall, not spending $1 on shopping for the first 3 months, for example, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference.
In terms of the TFSAs and the changes coming this year, does that change the kind of advice you give to people on how to...
Not in any way. For people who are saving for retirement, with a couple of exceptions, the RRSP should be your primary vehicle, except for if you have a lower income or you've got a really great pension. The TFSA is a great vehicle, but it's secondary to the RRSP on retirement, in my view. It's a great vehicle for all those other things that we might want to save for, but number one, I focus on the RRSP because of the tax deferral, and also because it's harder to get the money out.
When you get a little more comfortable, then you can go to the bigger steps at the top of the pyramid, investments, maximizing those investments. What do you say on that front?
So a lot of people think, oh, I've got to shoot the lights out, I should be in the stock market. No. If you get just the performance of the TSX over the course of the 30 years that you're saving for retirement, you will be doing better than most people.